Hello students, welcome back to lecture 4 of user-defined method. So in today's class, we will be doing programs wherein you will be getting to know about how to declare the instance variables, how to have instance methods, how to accept data through parameters, how do we create objects, and calling of instance methods through object creation and the dot operator. So all these things will be explained through a program in BlueJ, right? So let's see the program which we are going to do today. Yeah, these are all board questions. They have come in boards in previous years. So just go through the question and try to understand what we are supposed to do in this question. So here the question is, define a class mobile with the following details. Now the class name is given as mobile. So we have to make use of the same class name. If the names are not mentioned in the program, then you can use any valid identifier for the name of class, name of variables, name of the methods. But if the names are given in the question for class and data members like BNO, charge, name, days, these are the variables we need to use in this program. And here they have also given the function names: get method, calc method, disp method, and main method. So when it comes to the naming, whenever the question gives the names of the class, variables, methods, we have to make use of same name. In case they do not mention the names in the program, then we can use our own identifiers, which can be any short and related names. Fine. So in this program, you don't have to think about identifiers. You can just make use of the given names displayed in the program. So that is the first part. Then coming to the data members. In this program, we are making use of 4 variables, right? The variables are BNO is to store bike number, name is to store name of the customer, charge to store the rental charge, and days to store number of days bike is taken on rent. So basically this program will accept the bike number, the name, and the days through parameters, and it will compute the rental charges, which will be calculated based on the criteria given in the calc method. Right, so the program is basically to accept the number of days and compute the rental charge and then display the details. Okay, so that task is divided into 3 parts. The input is done through get method. Calc, the calculation part involved for calculating the charge, is done through the calc method. And the display part, the display of the details, which can be bike number, charge, days, name, all that you can display in the disp method. So basically the most important part to be displayed is the charge, which you are calculating and for which you are doing this entire program. So in boards, no, marks will be offered for displaying the charge. So if you display BNO, name and days and forget to display charge, you will not get any mark. But if you display charge and along with that you display BNO, name and days, it's fine. But the main thing for which you are doing the task has to be displayed. And then in the main function, we will be creating the object of the class and will call all the above methods using object name and dot operator. So basically in board model paper, this will be your first program. This type of question will be question 1 of your section B. They generally ask you these type of questions. So you have to be very attentive and understand the concept. Now here, since all these methods are making use of common variables, they must be declared as instance members. See here you have get method, calc method and disp method. And all these methods will be making use of the common variables which are given here. Therefore, since all these methods use common variables, these variables will be declared in the class before any method. And such variables are called instance variables, right? So I'll just give you the outline of this program. So you will write class mobile, and then you will declare all the instance variables, right? And then you will declare the methods one by one as given in the question. First get, then calc, then disp, and at the end main method, right? Methods, and then you close the class. So this will be your outline for this program. Okay. You can read the question and then I will take you to the BlueJ screen where this question will be shown to you and the execution also will be displayed. Yes. So we are into BlueJ screen and this is the program which has been already done. I'll just explain you the concept. This is, yeah. So here you can see, yeah. So here first we write the class as mobile, class name, right? Then we declare all the instance variables with appropriate data type. For example, here bike number and days are given the data type int, name is given the data type string, and charge is given the data type float. Fine. So first you have to declare all the instance variables with appropriate data type. Then we start the methods. The first method being get method, wherein we accept data through parameters. These are parameters. As I told you earlier, parameters are declared in the function header and all the parameters are preceded by the data type separated by comma, right? And then these have to be assigned to the instance variable. Whatever you write on left hand side are the instance variables which are declared in the beginning, and you assign these parameters to the instance variables like this, right? So that is about the get method. And then comes calc method, wherein we calculate the charge based on the criteria which was given in the question. So the question was like, if days are less than equal to 4, charges rupees 500 per day. You must have done these type of questions in decision making of class 9. So here this logical part can vary from one question to another, but this get and this will remain common in most of the programs. So here we calculate the charge, right? If days are less than equal to 4, so charge is days into 500 because it's per day 500. So it will be days into 500. Else if the range of days is between 5 to 10, the next 6 days. So after 4 days, the next 6 days will include day 5 to 10, right? So how do we put it in a condition is days greater than 4 and days less than equal to 10. So it will cover your 6 days which fall in this day 5 to day 10. Okay. And then for first 4 days, it is 500 per day. So we calculate it directly like this and add. And then here we find the remaining days which fall in this range. And how do you get that? When you subtract the days which you calculate from the total days, you get back the remaining days which fall in this range, for which the charge is 400 per day. So just calculate it mathematically and you will get the same result through this also. Okay. And if the days are beyond 10, then this will execute. So here we are calculating for first 4 days directly, then next 6 days directly, and therefore we subtract the already taken days, the 10 days out of the total days to get the remaining days that falls in this range, which is greater than 10 days. Right. And for that, the amount is 300 per day. So we multiply it with 300. I'll give you one example. For example, if your days are 12, suppose. So first condition will be false, so it will not execute. Then when it comes to second condition, this will be true. Therefore, the charge will be computed based on this calculation. And as per this, the charge is 4 into 500. For first 4 days, you will calculate based on 500 per day. Right. The next 6 days will be calculated based on sorry, this will be executed because the number of days are 12. So it will come to this part. The first two condition will be false. Therefore, else will execute. And here for first 4 days, 500 per day, so 4 into 500. And for next 6 days, 500, 500 per day. Sorry, I think I've done a mistake here. It should be 400 here. Just a minute. This should be 400 because per day it is 400. Okay, let me change this. Yeah, so I'll just clear it and I'll just make a change. This has to be 400 because for next 6 days, it was 400 per day. So that we calculate directly and then the remaining days you get by subtracting 10 from the total days. As I told you, if it is 12 days, you calculate for first 4 days by multiplying it with 500. And then for next 6 days by multiplying it with 400. And how do you get remaining days? D minus 10. So in this case, D is 12. So 12 minus 10. 12 minus 10 will give you 2. So 2 for 2, it will be 300 per day. And then you have to add all of this to get the charge for 12 days. So that's how the calculation is taking place. So you can calculate it mathematically and check your answer. So for this case, your answer is 5 plus 4 plus 3, 12, 1200. Okay, so we can check the answer. Let's see once again the calculation. 4 into 500. Sorry, 4 into 500 is 2000 plus 6 fours are 24,000, 24 plus 600. Right. So if you add this, you get 4. Yes, you just add it. So no confusion. We'll do it slowly. So 0, 0, 0, 5,000. So as per this calculation, you should get 5,000 for 12 days. The rental charge will be 5,000 for 12 days. So let's check it practically. One second, I'll clear this off. Just remember for 12 days it is 5,000. Let's see if it is giving the correct answer. And in this method, I am displaying the details using escape sequence character, wherein the data will be displayed in a table format. Okay. Yeah. So this is your program without main function. Okay. I'll just show you this part without writing the main function, and then we come to the main function. So when I right click this, since it is an instance method, we have to first create an object by clicking the first option, new mobile, and then you can keep same name or give your own identifier for the object name. And then when you right click, you will see all the methods of the program. So you click get, it will give you a dialog box wherein you have to type the bike number. Suppose it's 1234. Then tab and give the name of the customer. For example, if it is ABC, and then the number of days. For example, okay, 12 days we give. Okay, so what are these? These are actual parameters. So when I pass this, these will be received by the BNO, N and D, the formal parameters, and will be assigned to the instance variables which will be given memory in the system's memory. Okay, so click OK. So no, the method get will be called, the parameters will receive the value and assign them to the instance members. Okay, so that task has been done. Now right click, call the calc method by clicking it. Then again right click and call the disp method. You can see the amount here. BNO 1234, name ABC, days 12, and the charge is 5,000 as we calculated. So you're getting it right. Now, here the disadvantage is like you have to call the method one by one. So instead of that, if you write the main method in the program, wherein you do this calc part through code. Okay, I have already written it. I kept it in a comment. Now I will open it. So I'll remove this and make main also as part of the program mobile. Okay, so in main, what I'm doing, I'm creating the object. Here, this is for creating the object. So as I already told you, what happens when an object is created? Internally, memory will be allocated to all the instance variables which are declared above. As far as I remember, yeah, it is bike number, name. 1 second. It is bike number, then name and days and the charge. So as I told you, unless and until they are initialized, memory will not be allocated. So this constructor will initialize all the instance variables with the default values, right? This is null. Days will be again 0 as it is declared int, and charge will be 0.0 as it is declared float. Right. Now this takes place internally when the first statement of main gets executed. Now when obj.get is executed, the control will go to the get method above, where okay, this, yeah, and then this that formal parameters will receive this 123 x, y, z, and 3. Okay, I'll just show you that part. 123 x, y, z, and 3. So yeah, so this BNO 123 x, y, z, and the days which was written down, that will be received by these parameters and will be assigned to the instance members. So this change will take place in the memory. Okay, so this 0 will change, BNO will change from 0 to 123. Okay, name will change from null to XYZ, days will change to 10, and charge will remain same because we are not accepting and assigning any parameter to it. Okay, so that will happen with the call to the get method. Now let's go to the next part. After that, the next method calc is being called. Okay, and when the calc is called, yeah, so this get method will do this initialization part, and then when calc is called, the control will go to calc method and it will execute it depending on the days, and your charge will be given. Sorry, here the days was 3 days, so this will be 3, and your charge will be calculated as days into 500, so it will be 1500. Okay, and 1500 is assigned to charge, so that change will be reflected here. This will become 1500, right? And then the control comes back to disp. Now disp, when executed, shifts control to disp method, wherein it will display the data using escape sequence characters. So here BNO, okay. So this will get displayed as it is. That's for captions. I have inserted a tab in between so that there is a space of 6 spaces in between the captions. And in the second line, I'm displaying the variables containing the value. So this BNO will get replaced by the value stored in the memory, which is 123. Name will get replaced by XYZ, which is in the memory here. Yeah. And then days will get replaced by 3 and charge will get replaced by 1500.0 because charge is declared as double. Okay. And then your main comes to an end, and that's it. So instead of calling the method separately, you can do all that coding part of creating an object and calling the get method, the calc method, this method all in one, right? So now you don't have to call the method separately, but you can just call the main method and it takes care of calling all the other concerned methods starting from get, then calc, and then this. Okay, so let me show you the execution of this. First, let me compile. Okay, so there are no syntax error. Now you close this, right click this, click on new mobile. The object gets created with the default values, right? Here, this mobile one gets created with default values where your days and bike number will be given 0, name will be given null, and charge will be given 0.0. Now, when you right click, here you can see main method also. Without main, you were calling these methods one by one. First get, then calc, and then disp. But now, instead of calling them individually, I will just call the main method, which takes care of calling the above methods as per the sequence we have given in the program, in the main method. Okay. Yeah. Can you see this? So you understood how to execute such programs. So here BNO, name, days, charge, those are all string constant separated by a tab. So the first SOPLN of the disp will just print the captions BNO, name, days, charge with a tab, the 6 spaces in between. And the second SOPLN is displaying the values which are there stored in the memory that you refer through variables. So 123 is referred through BNO, the bike number, and then XYZ is referred through the variable name, and then 3 is by days, and 1500.0 is through chart. So I have written all those variables, and in between I have inserted a tab, right? Since tab is a constant, it has to be given within the quotes. Fine. And in between, you will join all of them using the plus, the join operator. Okay. So I think, yeah, you can just have a look once again to the entire program. Control minus to reduce the font size, but then it becomes too small. Yeah, so this is your complete program. You can see all these red color things. These are all keywords. All keywords are in small case and they are also highlighted. And when you give string S should be capital, right? All keywords are in small case. Your primitive data types are all keywords. So whenever you use primitive data types, the 8 primitive types, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char, they all must be always in small case as they are keywords. And when you use non-primitive type, your string, it has to start with capital. I'm sure most of you might be knowing the reason for that. String is a class. System is a class. That's why it starts with capital letter. See, as per conventions, all class name must begin with capital letter and all methods must begin with small letter. Right? And if they have more than one word in it, first letter of following words will be capital. Okay? So just observe those. Those are followed by professionals. So you will observe those conventions followed whenever you use any inbuilt class, predefined methods or predefined classes, you will see those conventions. So again, I want to make it clear, conventions are not necessary to follow. If you give your class name in small case, it will work. But if the conventions are followed by professionals, so whenever, if you remember these conventions, it will be easy for you to, remember all the inbuilt predefined classes and methods because these conventions are followed there. So start following that while writing programs, right? So that will help you to remember all the predefined methods and functions and the class. Okay, so I hope it is clear. I'll just share the other whiteboard. Yes. Yeah, so we have done this program. Now I would give you this as homework. You can try out this program. You can just try out this program in the same manner. Here the class name is BookFair and the instance variable defined here are bname, that stores name of the book, price stores price of the book. Okay, so through input you will input the parameters, that's your bname and price, you will input through the method input, And in calc, you will be calculating the discount which is offered based on the price of the book. Okay, you have to calculate the discount amount, and once you find the discount amount, the net price can be calculated by subtracting discount from the price. Okay, so calc method takes care of finding the discount based on the criteria which is given here. So see here, price. If price is less than or equal to 1000, the discount offered is 5% off price. If it is between 1000 and 3000, the discount is 10%. And if it is more than 3000, the discount is 15%. So in if else, you will only be interested in computing the discount, right? So like when you write the if for the first one, here you will only calculate the discount. Okay, else if the second condition, just calculate the discount, else calculate the discount, because that is something which is varying depending on the price. And once you calculate the discount, then net price you can calculate outside, or you can even directly display it in SOPLN. Whatever way you want, you can do that, right? And in disp, you will be displaying the name, the discount amount, and the price of the book. Price of the book is the net price which you will be paying after reduction of discount amount. Okay, and also write the main method to create an object and call all the above methods, that is input, calc, and display. Right? So please try this as homework in your BlueJ. It's very important to parallelly do the programming part. Just listening will not be enough. You have to practice doing programs, right? So with this, we come to the end of today's session. Hope you have understood all these concepts, right? So thank you, children. I'll stop it here. Thank you.